Before freezing the Excel, let's take a look at a split command. A split, as it is clear from its name, is breaking. Here in Excel, we have a split in cells and a split in worksheets. First, let's take a look at splitting the cell. Cell splitting. Here on name column, first names and surnames are together. I want to split the cell content, the names and surnames in a separate columns. Before splitting the cell, make sure there would be an empty cell in the next row of the cell. Because without an empty cell, the surnames will be overwritten on a started date column. So always have an empty column on right side of the range which you want to split the contents. I insert a column here before started date column. Name it as surname. Select the range which you want to split. Ctrl Shift and down key. Go to Data tab. Text to columns. Select Delimited and Next. Here, select the delimiter or delimiters to detect the places where you want to break the cell content. We have a space. I choose it. From Data Preview section, I can see all space delimiters are separated, but the semicolon, comma, dash ones are not separated. I colored them in yellow, blue, and red to detect them easily. I select semicolon and comma also. Or if they are separated with something else that are not mentioned in these options like dash, select Other and type dash. Now from Data Preview, we can see how our content will look like. If it is done, we can press on Next. In the column data format, select the data format for the new columns. By default, the columns have the same data format as the original cell. Both are general. I change them into text. Select the column, then select text, and the same for other column. And at last finish. They are separated now. We have two columns and instead of separating one by one, we split them and change their format to text. Pane splitting. Sometimes it is needed to break the Excel worksheet into 2 or 4 parts. It means we split the worksheet into exactly the same panes. Let's do it in Excel. Here in this list, I want to compare Sarah Jackson's with Samantha Morton's. For example, I want to compare Sarah Jackson's September salary or her daily rate or any other information with Samantha Morton's. So every time I have to scroll the worksheet up and down. However, I can split the pane into 2, then comparing is easy. For splitting the worksheet, first select the cell, go to View, press on Split. Okay, a light gray horizontal and vertical lines are appeared. It means this worksheet is divided into exactly 4 panes. We can move these lines anywhere we want. Now I don't need a vertical line. 2 splitted pane is enough. I grab it and move its left side to out of our list, or double click on it to remove. Now I adjust upper and lower panes. Easily we can compare these two data. Note that any changes you make to one pane are immediately reflected in the other ones. For removing, easily double-click on the line or again from View tab, click on Split. Freezing. Freezing or keeping an area of a worksheet visible while we scroll the worksheet. We have an Excel worksheet with many columns and want to check the first column with the last column. While I scroll the worksheet to the last column, I miss the first one. When I come back to the first column, the last one is behind the scene. Here, freezing helps. Now we want to check the increment or any other columns with the ID column. So we can freeze the first column. For this purpose, go to View tab, Freeze Panes, and freeze first column. As we see, a faint line has appeared between column A and B. It shows that the first column is frozen. So while I scroll the worksheet, the first column is freezed and not scrolling. I can easily control increment column with ID column. It is possible to freeze not only the column but also the row. Just easily go to View tab, Freeze Panes, Freeze Top Row. We are going to freeze multiple columns with multiple rows. Let's unfreeze first. Go to View tab, Freeze Panes, and Unfreeze Panes. Freezing multiple columns and rows. I want my list to be freezed until name column and from top until headers. I select Jackson cell. The freezing lines will pass from the top and left side of the cell. After selecting the cell, go to View tab, Freeze Panes, and Freeze Panes. That's it. It is freezed. Unlike Split, freezing locks the areas. We can get help from Split in freezing, in adjusting the freezing area. How? Let me show you. First I unfreeze, click on a cell, then press on Split. The worksheet is splitted from the selected cell. Now move the split lines wherever you want. Then press on Freeze Panes.